Lori Heinel, let's talk about your top black swan events for 2015. And we'll start off with a Russian default. Clearly the Russian economy is in shambles because of lower oil prices and their geopolitical problems. This might be more likely than just a black swan.
Yeah, so by definition, it's not our core call, but as you note, it might be more of a gray swan than a black swan right now. Look, anytime you have that sort of disruptive event happen, you have to be worried about it. So we would expect some sort of market reaction if indeed that does happen, but we don't think that the long-term ramifications are very severe for investors.
And then similarly, your number 2 black swan event is a Eurocrisis Redux. And right now, Greece is running out of money. They could leave the European Union fairly soon, within the next few months. How much damage would this do to the Eurozone?
So again, not a core call, but as you note rightly, more likely than it maybe seemed 6 or 9 months ago with the change in the political arena there. We believe that there's plenty of room for both sides to still come to the table and effectively declare victory on both sides. We don't think that a Greek exit is what's going to happen, and even if it did, at the end of the day, it wouldn't be something that would be severely damaging to the euro. There's a lot of details that would have to be worked out in terms of trade agreements and treaties, but overall, we think the euro will survive.
A third black swan event that you bring up that could really destabilize the entire global market would be a U.S. Fed policy mistake. So what do you think the Fed's going to do, and when are they going to do it?
Right. So that's the one that's in some respects the most delicate because there are risks to both the upside and the downside. Our core call is that they will start to tighten later this year, likely around the September time horizon. And we think they'll take a couple of bites of the apple to get to about a 1% Fed funds rate by the end of the year. Now, there are things that could put them on hold. Clearly, they've noted some concerns about what's going on outside the U.S. as a potential reason for them to wait a little bit longer. But we do think that you're seeing good pickup in global growth. You're seeing good pickup, particularly here in the U.S., and inflation and employment are starting to move to their favor.
And then finally, is there something that individual investors can do to protect themselves from one of these black swan events happening, or is it's just a black swan, there's not much you can do?
Right. Well, the greatest tool that investors have always had and still have is diversification. So none of these are our core calls, but we think that by having a mix of assets that are globally diversified across various asset classes will help to weather the storm, because invariably, when you have something go badly one place, that means there's probably somewhere else where the portfolio is doing well.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lori.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching The Street.